Hi guys, I am Megan Demore with Comic Book Resources.
Hey,
Hey,
Megan.
Megan.
Amore! Hello.
Hi. So my questions are for all of you, and I will direct it so that we can get a flow going. So I'll just get us going right away. So your characters, Hutch, Chloe, Brandon, they all have a lot to live up to. They have got some immense pressure to be certain types of people. What does that pressure do to a person like your character? And Andrew, if you could get us started with that.
Of course. I think for Brandon, it really heightens everything about him. It makes him more stressed, it makes him more vulnerable, it makes him more angry, it makes him more confused. And I think all of those emotions can be seen sort of coming throughout his journey in the show. And he makes some decisions that maybe aren't the best decisions because of feeling so much pressure, I feel. So yeah, that would be my quick summation so we can move it along.
All right. And Elena, how about you?
Oh, goodness. Well, Megan, I don't know how much you've seen of the show, but as you can probably tell, watching it, Chloe, the pressures of living up to a legacy has sent Chloe into a spiral, like into a downward spiral. She's choosing, she's kind of in the pursuit of stifling and numbing this pain of feeling like she's never going to be able to measure up, also feeling guilt of not participating and involving herself in that family mission of saving the world. But it's just not, the code just doesn't match her, what she wants to do with her life. She doesn't agree with it. So there's a lot of baggage she's carrying. She's turning to drugs and alcohol and all kinds of things to try and numb that pain that she's feeling, but it's only, like Andrew said, heightening it. I feel like everyone's in a very heightened state because of this pressure, if that makes sense.
It totally makes sense. And Ian, how about you?
It's funny that you say what our characters have to live up to. I actually would say that Hutch doesn't have much to live up to. He actually has a tremendous amount to fight against. I think he was born into a reputation that he had no creation in making. I think he was born into a stigma around his father and subsequently around him. And so I think this person has been fighting his whole life to try to distance himself from that legacy and to also tear that legacy down. And I think and so doing also trying to tear down the legacy of the Utopian and the Union.
So I want to pick up on fight, because you're fighting more than metaphysically. You guys are involved in a lot of your characters rather are involved in a lot of action. So I was wondering if you could talk a little bit about what that stunt process looked for you, how involved you were in that, maybe even your reaction to seeing the completed completed project and what that was like. And I'm gonna reverse it and start with you, Ian.
Sure, yeah. That process was phenomenal. So you're asking about the stunts, right?
Yes.
So basically, my character doesn't have any power. So when he's fighting, it's his physical body. And when I met Phil Silvera, our amazing fight choreographer, they took us through the fight, took me through my fight sequence, and it was literally like me fighting all of these people physically. And I had an hour to learn it, and then it was 2 days of straight up, like 15-hour days, just like fighting every day. And when I first booked the role, I wanted to show that too. I told him, I want this guy who has no powers, who grows up in a world of people with powers, to look like he's had to fight for everything and had to scrap for every crumb he's ever been given. So I was going to Muay Thai a lot and like working out a lot, doing that. And it really helped the process because it's like, most people go to contact sports because they need to get some emotion out, not always aggression. And that was like a journey. I was like, oh, this cat has been through a lot, and that was a really fun and exciting journey. And I'm really excited. I'm happy at how it turned out and excited for the fans to see.
All right. And I'm being given the cue to wrap up. So thank you guys so much for your time.
Thank you, Megan.
Good luck with the
Thank you, Megan.
Bye.
Take care.
Nice to meet you.